Endoga, you monster. You absolute monster. How could you do this to me? This is a G-rated... The craziest thing about this whole thing is this is a G-rated film in Australia. For context, Moana and Zootopia are PG-rated films. This film is deemed more family-friendly than Moana and Zootopia. That's crazy to me because I had to turn this movie off 40 minutes in and calm myself down before I returned to it. I've never had to do that with a film. I sat through a Serbian film, an Incident at Ghostland, and Martyrs, and The Coffee Table. No worries. Like, okay, tough watches, but, you know, I had to turn this off 40 minutes in because I felt myself getting so worked up. I felt like I was going to have a panic attack. When this movie ended, I went into my kids' room and just lay on the floor for a bit to make sure they were okay. Like, they were snoozing and I was just on the floor, like, staring at the ceiling just because I needed proximity to them. This movie is a panic attack and parental anxiety bottled and sold in cinematic form, and almost no Western media outlets have covered it. And that is fucking crazy to me because this is the ultimate discomfort movie for parents. This is... God damn. Like, this is... So, first of all, shout out to Endoga Spock. He's been following the channel for a while now. I'm glad I got to cover this because this was part of the first ever SpookieKnights community call out where I'm sort of covering films that viewers have asked me to cover. Like, they comment, they go, hey, watch this movie. I think you'll like it. I'm letting the audience pick 3 movies. This was one of them. And 3 absolute bangers as far as I'm concerned. I've watched them all at this point and they're all fucking bangers. Endoga recommended this to me and they hit the nail on the head when they said, this is the ultimate movie to terrorize parents of toddlers. This is emotional terrorism, this movie. If you are the parent of a toddler, this might be the scariest film you've ever seen. I am extremely interested to hear if this movie affected people who don't have kids or have older kids as much as it affected me. This hurt. This movie hurt for me to watch. This movie is great. I never want to watch this movie again. That goes in this basket. It's fucking G-rated. This is a G-rated film. I'm not even sure it would work on a second viewing because you sort of know what happens. And it's a dark movie, not because of what actually happens in the film, but the potential of what can happen in the film, the implication of what can happen in this film.
Because of the implication.
At any moment in this film, something truly, truly horrendous could happen. God, my nervous system was so rinsed. It was absolutely rinsed after watching this movie. Pihu it's so mean. It's such a mean movie. Based on a horrifying true story that took place in Delhi in 2014, this movie is the story of 2-year-old Pihu. It's actually set the day after Pihu's second birthday party. Now, an important thing to note about this movie and why this movie works is that Pihu is the most adorable child. She is so fucking cute. It's like she was made by the devil to manipulate audiences. 3 seconds into the film, I was like, oh, I would die for Pihu. Great, this is going to be so much fun. She's so cute. Pihu wakes up and there's shit everywhere. It's been a big party. Her dad has left on a business trip to Kolkata and she's just been left with her mum. The problem is her mum won't wake up. Something's going on and her mum is not waking up. And so basically what Vinod Kapri, who wrote and directed this, he's made 80 minutes of what would happen if a 2-year-old was left to fend for themselves for as long as it takes the community or parents or whatever to work out that something's gone horribly wrong. That is what this movie is. And it is horrifying. It's so emotionally manipulative and it's so stressful and it's so exhausting. And it's good though. Like, I don't think a movie that has this much that makes me feel this way can be bad because it's so deft at fucking with me. It's experimental, but goddamn, this is a good film, even though it's fucking horrific and I never want to see it again. As always, starting off with the good. The actor who played Pihu, who is Mira Vishwakarma, how is she so good this young? She is like prodigy level of acting. She must have only been like 2 or 3 when they filmed this. How did they get her to do anything? She's unreal. She is crazy. I looked into the shooting of this movie, and it turns out that Vinod's friends with Mira's parents, so they were really careful about how they shot this film. And, they were really careful about like only doing 1 or 2 hours a day, never doing multiple takes. And I think that's why this movie feels so real, because it's just 80 minutes of Pihu reacting to her environment and not understanding things that are going on and the dangers that are going on. That could quickly turn into a boring mess of a film. It doesn't here. I was in the entire time, as much as I hated the experience because it was so uncomfortable. She has such an expressive little face. I was absolutely enthralled. You feel for her and you feel for her safety, and you just want to make sure she's okay. That is the big part of this film. Is if you didn't care for her, this movie wouldn't work at all, and you do instantly. With almost no lead up. There is no lead up to this film. It just starts with her waking up, and you're instantly like, oh no, come here. Don't go there. Don't do this. And a lot of the times this is shot from her perspective, her view, her height. And that turns even the most basic task into a gauntlet of death, right? You see things and you're like, oh, this is horrific. I have a toddler, and they are always wanting to help cook or mow or whatever dangerous task piques their interest at the time. And in this movie, there is no safety net from her trying those things. Even something as simple as burning a roti turns into a ticking time bomb. I mean, to be fair, on a good day, burning a roti fucking sucks. That's because I love roti. In this movie, it's fucking excruciating. It's excruciating. There are multiple zoomed out shots of the room and how everything is set up in this movie. And it feels like they've taken the fun bit of Final Destination, where you get to work out like, oh, death's going to kill him by flicking that, fork into that toaster. This turns that fun concept and makes it awful. It makes it sheer dread and terror the entire time, and anxiety. It is panic attack inducing, this movie. You're just like, oh God, there are so many things that could kill you. They haven't done safety checks at this house at all. There are so many things that could murder you, Pihu. Please, 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 please be okay. I really like this film, even though I never want to watch it again. But it's another Indian film that I can add to my list of show Western audiences and be like, hey man, Indian cinema isn't all like fun, smiles and dancing. They do dark and disturbing too, just like we do. And when they want to, they can be real fucking good at it. It is so dark. This movie's so dark. It's got like domestic violence, and it's got suicide, and it's got, it's just, oh God, if you're scared of heights or anything too, this movie it's a toughie. I never want to watch it again, but God, I really enjoying is not the word, but it's a good film. This is a really good film. It's really experimental, but it's really well done. Now, this movie isn't a perfect movie. There are a few issues. One of them is that it's an extremely manipulative movie. You know the entire time watching this movie that Kapri and the team are using your parental instincts against you and how cute this little girl is, right? They are using her as a weapon against you. I don't particularly have a problem with that because I think all good directors use emotional manipulation, but I do know that lots of people don't like feeling emotionally manipulated by directors. They want it to be like subconscious. This is not subconscious. This is like, hey man, you're not going to like what's happening and you're going to be really stressed out. I don't have a problem with it, but I can see people not liking that, so just know that going in. The second is, after about 50 minutes, this movie does lose a little bit of its punch. And the reason is because it starts to feel a little bit repetitive. In horror movies, what happens is there's a reason it's not just all scares. There's a reason that there's a lot of quiet to scare ratio in horror movies. And that is because you have the scare, your nervous system goes up like this, and then there's a lot of quiet so you can reset and then scare again, right? The reason that valley is there is so that your body and nervous system don't adapt to being scared. That is the reason for that valley. This movie is so intense for so long that, and there's no valley, that my body just, I couldn't tell if my body was exhausted or my central nervous system adapted, which I'm thankful for. But you get to a stage where you're like, okay, it's just more of this, because you've been doing it for 50 minutes, right? That does make the first half seem a lot punchier than the second half. So I think that probably would have added to it. That being said, this is a really phenomenal single location horror involving children. Skinamarink I didn't find Skinamarink scary at all. It was really abstract. It was quite experimental, single location, and you couldn't work out what was going on in a lot of shots. The fear came from like you thinking about it and them not showing you anything. This is shot in the day for the most part. It's shot during the day. It's single location. You see everything, but the potential for horror is so fucking high. It's so stressful. And it messed me up way worse than Skinamarink. This freaked me. This was so intense. And it showed everything. That's a tip of the cap for sure. Well done, team. You fucking bastards. You got me good. I recommend watching this if you are a parent that loves being tested. I'm being serious. Especially if you're the parent of a toddler, this is like 80 minutes of the scene from The Lion King where Mufasa dies. Like that is what this is like. If you like experimental films, Skinamarink, Sata, that sort of thing, where the format is the film a little bit, that is one of these movies. So if you like that stuff, you will probably like this. There's also not a lot of like dialogue in it. So if you're worried that if you're not like big on subtitles or struggle with subtitles, there's not a lot of dialogue in this movie. It's because she's just on her own. You will be okay watching it. Once again, it's all about her. I don't recommend watching this if harm or potential harm to kids is an issue. This is too steep a hill for you. Do not go in. If that's a problem for you, don't go in. If you want a fun horror that you can rewatch and like party to, this is not that. This is a big no to both of those. This is fucking intense and it's emotionally exhausting. Or at least I found it emotionally exhausting. So this is not a fun time film. If you loved this and are looking for more movies that take place focused on a child's perspective and the danger that is inherent in the world surrounding that child, I've got to go with Pan's Labyrinth. It's probably my favorite Guillermo del Toro movie. It takes place after the Spanish Civil War, and it's about a 10-year-old girl named Ophelia who has to go with her pregnant mother and meet her new stepdad, who's like this really awful person. He's a army sergeant, and he's just awful. He's a war criminal. He's an awful man. And when her mum gets sick, it sort of comes upon Ophelia to sort of start caring for her, and she gets visited by a mystical faun who says that he will help Ophelia's mum get better, and also make her a princess if she completes these 3 dangerous tasks, right? And like Pihu, this movie is about a child getting into dangerous situations where we can see the danger and they can't, without parental supervision. It's such a good movie. It's so stressful and it is sad. It's also an all-timer for me. I love this movie. It's got one of the creepiest creature designs all time in The Pale Man. If you haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth and you liked Pihu, highly recommend it. Even though it's more fantasy, it's fucking banger. That's it. If you want to be part of the next Spooky Nights community call out and possibly get your movie reviewed, follow along, because I'll put up a post about it probably next month. I'll probably do these monthly because they're a lot of work. And if you comment and say, hey, I'd love to see a review on this film, your film might get picked and I'll cover it in its own standalone review. So please let me know if you end up watching this one. Did it absolutely mess you up like it did me? This one got to me. This one really got to me. I was surprised, and it's so funny because when I rented this movie on Apple TV, I was like, oh, G-rated. Why the fuck Okay, we'll see what happens. You know, I'm open-minded. And this should not be G-rated. What the hell are they thinking? This scared the shit out of me. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you next week for another review. Peace.